Hi, my friend. I'm Pat Sloan. How are you? Today we have a start off. We're going to kick off with the fact that it is World Puzzle Day. Do you play puzzles, whether you do like physical puzzles or digital puzzles? Do you have apps that you do a puzzle? I would love to know if you like puzzles. But also, I think that puzzles can tie into quilting because when we're making things, it is kind of like a puzzle. All the pieces have to fit, because if they're not the right shape, they don't go in the hole where they're supposed to go, right? So that's when you're doing a puzzle, it has to fit. And quilting is the same. If we're not precise in our cutting, it doesn't fit in the right place. But sometimes quilts can feel like a puzzle. They might be a little bit more complex or maybe a little bit more unusual construction, and that feels like a puzzle. So if you have a quilt that when you made it, it felt like it was doing a puzzle, I would love for you to share that over at our community page, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan, over at Facebook. So if you share there, I think it'd be super fun. And what I'm going to do is put up my Woodsy quilt now, because I need to get working on that. And that one, I do feel like it is a puzzle. So let's take down, first let's take down the red and white Woodsy, which I still don't know if I'm going to quilt this one myself or not. I haven't decided. It's sort of like at some points I think, you know, I just want it done and I want to do other things, and quilting it is going to take me, you know, a couple hours. And I think, well, a couple hours, it's not really that long. Do I want to do it? Do I want to send it off? So anyways, I haven't decided. That's where I am with that. I probably will decide, if I haven't started it by the time I send the box to Judy, then, because she's not, you know, I have to get that together, it might just go in the box to Judy. So here are the Valentine hearts. I have, for the Valentine Sew Along, I have 3 of them done. Yes. And I've got everything figured out. So I have all of them lined up on the design board. It's nice they stay there. If I don't tilt them too far, they won't fall off. So they're all on here. But I did do a little organization to get them all set up, because what I decided was that for each of the hearts, I want to have the polka dots, and I wanted a polka dot on both sides. So I'm going to pop a picture up here. So here's a picture of how I was laying it out. So basically, because the polka dots were a key thing I wanted to have, I made sure that I had all of the stacks for each of the quilts, you know, for each of the sections of the hearts with the polka dots. And then what I did was take all the other colors and be sure that I had the dark purple spread around, because that's a really distinct color in here. You know, if the dark purples were like one side had all dark purples, well, that just wasn't going to look right. So I wanted to spread it out. So most of them have at least, they all have at least one. Many of them have 2 of the dark purples. So there's another example. So that's how the thought process went. Then the other colors were a little less critical. And then when I laid them out on the board, I made sure that they were spread out. So that way I got nice color balance. And now when I go to sew this, I just have to pick it up and sew. Now, occasionally what happened was when I was doing those 3, I kept moving. I think it was like in this pile, this purple, I would move it down to the next level because I didn't like what it was next to, and then I didn't like it. By the time I got to the 3rd one, I still was doing the same thing. So I'm like, okay, let's stop and let's figure this out. So hopefully that's okay. Now I'm ready to go. I think I can get the other 6 done. So that's by Monday. That's my goal, to have all 6 of those done by Monday, which is very doable. And I have the stack of cutoffs, which I think I'm going to just get them all and then see what I have. I just haven't thought about it. Either I make a little pillow or maybe a little table topper or a big, maybe some mug rugs. I don't know. Not mug rugs. I want to use them all up. So maybe it'll be like a pillow or a table topper. I just have not sat and thought about it at all. When I design things, I don't necessarily think about the cutoffs. I know some designers do. It's just not where my brain goes. So there. So you have them to extras to play around with. All right, the Woodsy, which is really done with the outdoorsy fabric. But for some reason, I started calling this Woodsy when I first started making it. This is the fabric line. I don't know why I did, but that's what it is. And I've got the one block that I've been making with the scraps. So here is, this is a scrap block, and I've got some scraps attached here. So far I've used, I think, all the scraps in this one block, which might, it's a little too big for a pillow now, so it might become, who knows, it might just be going on the back. Now I'm using the free pattern called Flea Market Mix, which is, it very much feels like a puzzle. Okay, so there's one so you can just see it. That's where we're going with this. And I have a couple of sections already done, and they've been here in the rolling case. Now, I got these nice baskets that were a present from one of our friends here, and they fit great into my rolling assistants. These she got at the Dollar Tree, so if you have one of those, you might go and look at the Dollar Tree. All right, so these are the parts I have done, and I believe this is the top, and I'll have quite a bit of extra fabric for the backing. I'm going to do a border on this. If I were to get this all done before I send that box to Judy, this would definitely be going to Judy. Okay, so this is the top half. I've got the top half, so I really am quite far along. And I have the bottom, I think this is the bottom left. So basically I have the bottom right. Yeah, so here's the bottom left. And there's a middle. So I have to put this down here like this, because this pattern has this great middle section. So I've got this top part. I have this section. I've got, I think, some parts for this one and some ideas for that along here. So it's really quite an easy project. You know, it's a lot of big 9 patches, and it's all about showcasing the fabric. So this is going to go in that long strip. This was a piece of one of the collage prints. I forget where it goes exactly. I've got some notes there, but I'm just going to get it up on the wall. So now these are the parts that I have for the other section that's not, you know, the bottom right. And here is one. I've apparently sewed some parts of it. It's been a few days since this has been up on the wall, so I don't quite remember where I am. But I wanted to get this blue pennant. There were pieces in these collages that I wanted to be sure that I could showcase, like the alphabet and this pennant. And over here, there was this red pennant. You know, I wanted to be sure I got that one. So I believe this is the top part of this section. And I still have to do a star. And I'm just going to stick these up here because I don't know exactly where they go. All right. So these are some of the parts for down here. So it's really quite close. There is one big star. See the big star? And what I've done with the star is they're all in the teal and a light, teal and a light, teal and a light. And that's what I'll repeat down here with a light background and a teal star. I used the plaid. I don't know if I have enough of that plaid left, but that's what I used in all 3. So I'll see whether I have enough plaid to repeat that. I do have, there's quite a bit. So this is all the fabric that I have for this. And I had gotten quite a bit because I really just wasn't sure when I got it what I would do. Oh, this is Holiday Homies. Why is that in there? I'll be looking for that, wondering where it is. So now I need to take this out. Don't put it back in there. I'm going to put it over here because I can put it with the binding, because I really don't know why I have that. I have to remember what the thought process was. So I do believe this will have some sort of border on it, because I think that would just be kind of fun to, I don't know, calm it down. I'm thinking the splatter, this kind of splatter wear. So there'd be sort of an inner border, maybe of a gold, and then some splatter wear on the outside. I just feel like that'd be like a super nice frame to it. There is the wood grains, which are so fun. Like here's a wood grain, here's a wood grain. Those are really fun fabrics. Oh, I'm seeing the teal. Oh, yay, happy days. I have plenty of teal. I obviously got more of that. I had, I think, like maybe it was a custom fat quarter bundle the Fat Quarter Shop did, like a smaller one. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was the actual Fat Quarter bundle, and then I bought extra fabrics. So I have this. Now, I would have to look to see what I wanted. I also have some red plaid, which could be a border option. So red, red, everything red. Okay, what do you think? Okay, let me put the red up there. Oh, you know, I just love my red. I love red. Okay, so there would be, that's a little, doesn't need to stick out that far. Just shove it over. Okay, so there we go. So there's some red. Oh boy, yeah. I think if I did red though, I think I'd have to order more because I'm not sure I have enough, but we'll see. I will see what happens. I could do an inner border of that splatterware. So here's a piece. So could do the inner border of the splatterware and then red and then binding of the splatterware so that, I don't know, I still think it might need gold, like some sort of gold color for that inner border. Like here's the basket weave, which I do not have enough of it. I'm not sure if there's more I could get, because also that basket weave, I think somebody said it's supposed to be like the fishing tackle box, which that's fine. Still looks like basket weave. That's what those look like. That would be neat to put up there. So that would be an option. Options. It makes it, just gives that a little bit of lightness to do that. Alrighty, there it goes. This has got to be done. So this and the hearts are what I'm going to work on the next couple days. And for the Monday video, I'll do a few little clips as I'm working along. So I'll show you on Monday where I end up with things on that. So exciting. Yeah, I'm loving it. All right, we have starting on Tuesday, which is February. Yes, already February. It is the sew along, the fundraising sew along, the charity sew along for the National Negro College Fund, which is through the Fat Quarter Shop. So I'm working with them, and this is, I'm sewing along with them is what I'm doing. I'm not working with them, I'm just sewing along. This is designed by Sherry Spain, and the Fat Quarter Shop did a wonderful interview with her recently over at their YouTube channel. So they are, the Fat Quarter Shop is donating, let me get this right, they're donating $7,000, so matching the first $7,000 that all of us donate, and then any of your other donations go full, the full donation goes to, always goes to the charity. So I am excited. This is such gorgeous fabric, and it's a very fun design that Sherry did. Plus, it's not a difficult design. So I love that. It's something we can make fun. It's very, I got the light color version because I wanted it to feel like a spring wall hanging, you know, feel like spring, so I could hang it for spring wall hanging. So I am so excited. We start with the lantern shapes, and she has a story in here celebrating a Black inventor. So that is a very interesting part of this. So you get to learn a little bit of history. All right. A mail call, and it's a yummy mail call. Oh, so good, so good. This is from Sue in Wisconsin. So Sue in Wisconsin, first I have to show you the card she sent. Look at that, it's got a quilt on it, which is the Women of the Bible quilt. So on the back, it shows the names of all of the women. So I thought that was really cool. And it came wrapped in some red, everything red, polka dots. I love it. And it's chocolates from a shop called Annie's Candy Kitchen. And here is the box from Annie's Candy Kitchen. What I love is that they are making Belgian chocolates. That's their thing, is they make chocolates in a style that is made in Belgium, which is where I lived for 4 years. So I thought that was so sweet of Sue to send these to me. Oh, they smell so good. I have to show them to you. I only had a little bite of the toffee. We didn't dig in yet. Greg and I are looking forward to having one of these after lunch today. So many gorgeous options. They are big babies. Look at that. Look at the size of that candy. That is big. So these are on the agenda. They're on my agenda today. All right, so how do you counter lots of candy that comes? You all have been so kind. You have sent me so many yummy things. So I have to be sure that I exercise, right? And recently I just felt like I needed a new pair of sneakers because I wear sneakers primarily all the time. Besides walking in them, I wear them all day. I work on a concrete slab. My home is on a concrete slab. And we now have tile, so there really is no cushion. So I stand on a concrete slab all day long. So I need a good cushion shoe. So I just got these New Balance ones. I've not had that brand for a very long time, and I need a wider toe box because my feet are fairly wide. So I got these to try. So we'll see. I'm on day 2 wearing them, and they feel super comfy right away, which is what your shoes should be. They shouldn't hurt. You shouldn't have to break them in. The shoes should work when you first put them on. So that's an excellent sign that it's going to be a good pair of shoes. Now I want to show you where I ended up with my mittens. As of this video, which is, I'm filming it on Friday, they're not quite done, but they will be. So hold on. Hello, hello. Okay, they are just about done. The finishing technique is to sort of, let me get the other one, is once you put the two of them together, the lining inside, then you would trim across the bottom and then just top stitch and then roll the hem up. That's the finishing that I'm doing. So when I did that, when I rolled the hem up, it was suggested in the pattern to just tack the corners, but I felt like I didn't want to roll it up too much, and so there wasn't a lot to really roll. I'm keeping it fairly small. Here you can see. I'll undo those two. So here is the edge. So I have got, you can see the red, I use the red thread. It's just stitched, they're just stitched together, and then I'm rolling them up. But I thought, okay, they're just not going to stay rolled up. So I am going to blanket stitch it right here. So I'm only blanket stitching through the black. So you can see on the inside, you don't see any of the stitching. So I am only attaching the roll to the black part. And I think that'll be fine, because then what I will do is come and tack stitch at the seam here. I will tack stitch through here and then through here, which will go through all the layers. And then that way it will be super nice and won't puff out or anything like that. Now somebody had asked, was the wool felted? And this wool is just off the bolt. You want to be careful. You would probably want to contact Confident Stitch, Kate or Macy, and find out if you wanted to felt it yourself. You know, felting is going to shrink it, and I'm not sure that they're sending you enough in the pattern. You know, it looked generous enough, but the red was a bit tight for me. You know, I didn't have a lot of extra, so I'm not sure how much this would shrink. Not all wool shrinks up a lot. Wool is, it's a variety of styles of wool. Wool doesn't come just in one style like cotton. When you go get quilting cotton, it's pretty much the same. You don't have to think like, what kind of weight do I have or anything like that. For wool, it's totally different. This black is super thick. It's super thick. The red is kind of medium weight. You could almost like wear it like as a skirt. And then this is very thin. It's very thin and pliable and light and gorgeous. I mean, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. And that's the way, like you're buying any kind of fabric other than just quilting cotton. It's all different weights and things like that that you have to know about. So my goal, of course, now I have 3 goals. Top goal is to finish these mittens for Monday, because Monday is the last day of the month, and I must complete it because that is on my 8 things for, did I have 8? Yeah, 8 items. I think I kept thinking 6. 8 items for completion in January. So it'd be the mittens, the hearts, and the Woodsy. Those are the 3 I'm going to work on and try to get as much done as I can. I also will create a new sheet for February. I like this idea of, like last year, I didn't really focus heavily on this. I made a list, but didn't really, you know, go forward really well. And it just sort of, you know, things, something got done, but it really wasn't a focus to get it done. And this year, that's my focus. When I put something on that list, I want to work on it. I want to be realistic what I put on there. So what's going to happen is I've updated my master sheet by hand. I have to go in and update it on the computer. But there's going to be things from now forward that can't actually get completed. The unfinished objects, the UFOs, I mean, some of them are sort of much bigger. There's more to them. A lot of bindings, so I can sort of crack through some bindings. March will be a busy month because March we're going to also do a block a day. So I probably will leave some bindings to do in March because those I know exactly how long they'll take. They usually take me a span of 2 to 3 evenings because that's how much I like to work on it, and then they'll be done. So I have to go through and find out what on here can I actually, you know, parts of it can I complete in February. So that'll be something I want to look at. And if you haven't downloaded your February calendar, it is now available. The link is in the description box. It is also at my website, I Love to Make Quilts. So you can go there and to the calendar page. Okay, one more thing. All right, I have not a lot of bird feeders and things like that, but I put up one of those suet feeders, you know, one of these. I put one of these up outside and I've really loved it. It's off my deck, and I can see it not more like from the kitchen area and when I'm standing looking out the window. But right, I'm going to put this picture up here. Right where I sit all day long at my computer is, you know, available. And so I'm going to try a suet feeder there. I got another one. I'm not sure that they'll be happy being that close to the house. Plus, I move, so I will create motion very close to where they'll be, and that they may not like that. So I may have to move that pole. I had flowers there in the summer because it's almost full shade. It gets a little sun in the morning. I could see pretty flowers. I had to put them up on a bench because I can't see down to the ground, but I have a bench under that window, and then I put pots on it so I could see the flowers and hang it on the one rod there. So that was really nice. So I'm going to put that up today. The weather is overcast. We're supposed to get some snow. But Virginia, when you get these things that say, oh, we're going to have like, you know, the Armageddon of snow, I mean, Virginia gets like, you know, an inch. So we often don't get, at least my part of Virginia, here in Northern Virginia, we don't usually get the same thing other people are forecasted for. All right, I am excited to get these projects done. Again, the box for Judy is getting bigger and bigger to send to Judy all my flimsies to go to the spa and have Judy quilt them. Okay, my friend. Be sure that you find that last UFO on your list for January and get it finished by Monday night. I love you. Mwah. See you online.